Hi, my name is Sky, and I have an idea. Um, Lately, I've been watching things on the news and watching things happen in Congress, and it seems to me that there's some people who are doing some good things, some really beneficial things, and some of those things are like helping out their fellow man. There was a story of a couple women who they're investigating on their own for vote fraud, and a politician that helped them out. Lately there's been just people doing different things here and there just to help out their fellow man. There was like the little boy who put on his Power Ranger outfit and ran out and scared off the thieves. um, and now there's this war this Baker report about Iraq. And to me that just says these are some really good politicians who are really standing up and saying what they need to say, and said it doesn't matter about politics. This is what is important. And I just think it's interesting that, or I think it would be interesting if there was an award for this. That, it's something that, it was recognized, that this is the person that did something, and you call it like the Good Citizen Award. Um, and it has no name, it's not really sponsored, and if anything, I think what it should be is that, everybody gives money, or anybody who wants to donate money to this award, they can do that. And and it's like there's a committee that's elected, and they do stuff, and it could have government oversight, but really it's just like in fact it probably should have oversight. I think, yeah, it probably should have oversight, but at the same time, or government oversight, but at the same time, like, just let it be a civilian affair. And there'll be problems with money, but don't worry about it. Like, but people give money to this charity, and um, they check out the year and they say, all right, who has been a good citizen? Who has really helped the country? Who has worked to benefit the country? Who's worked to really expose corruption, injustice, to really enforce and reestablish American values, and really just to be like my good fellow man kind of values. Just like, what do you do if your neighbor's on fire? You try to help them out. You try to put out the fire. You don't run away or just watch them burn. You know what I mean? And I think that's just that's what this award would be. Um, and then on top of that, you give an award to the person who gave the most money to the award. Don't be abashed by it, and just I mean, award that one person, like publicly, to let them know that we really do appreciate the guys who give big, and so that way there's this like sort of competition amongst the wealthy to like who can give more money to this award, because here's the thing: the people who win these awards, they're given cash prizes, and it's from the donations. Like, you use the money to pay for the awards, pay for the ceremonies and this and that, but you use the money and you give it to the awardees. The awardees can do what they want with it. So, say it was some homeless man who was just doing something, and he really helped out some people. You give that man money, and, well, maybe it could help turn his man around, or turn his life around. Um, and if it's and when you give the award back to the most wealthy man, he's not going to keep it. He's very wealthy. He doesn't need any more money. He's going to turn around and give it to another charity. Or he'll give it back to the good citizen awards committee. I mean, but I just think that there are a lot of generous people out there, people who want to do well and generous things, and and also there's some people that they're just not too sure if it's worthwhile, if it's good to do it. With this attention, of everybody on everybody else, why not do this? Why don't we encourage good behavior amongst our fellow citizenry? Why don't we encourage, just people to, not so much be heroes, but just step up and be good citizens, be good to their fellow man, and just try to, live this American, ideal that, everybody is different, but everybody lives together, and everybody looks out for each other, because we're all the same. So, it's my idea for, Citizen of the Year, Politician of the Year award. Make them separate, and as many as you want, but it's recognized, and popular support is really behind that these people win these awards. So that's my opinion, or that's my, yeah, that's my idea.